Hi, this is Becky Oberg from Recovering from Mental Illness, and today I'm going to talk about the need for a sensible drug policy. My generation grew up with DARE and Just Say No, and the policy of those programs is 100% abstinence from illegal substances. My generation grew up to be the most drug dependent in history. So it can be said that these programs do not work. If you want to go into more details, Adam Ruins Everything did a video on DARE, and it's worth watching. Anyway, our current drug policy was fueled largely by race in the 1930s. They wanted something to criminalize African Americans and Mexican Americans with, so they could just lock them up and get rid of them. And that policy has continued until today. A black person is far more likely to receive a lengthy prison sentence for drugs than a white person. There's a whole book about it called The New Jim Crow, and that's worth a read. Also worth a read is this book, Dark Alliance, by Gary Webb. He revealed that the CIA was dealing crack cocaine in the predominantly African-American neighborhoods of Los Angeles and using profits to fund the Contras during the 80s. So our government is extremely hypocritical in its current drug policy. And not only is it hypocritical, but it is ineffective. It does not work. Their response has been to try and criminalize even more things. For example, when I was in rehab, they taught us that cigarettes were the gateway drug. Well, too many people smoke and don't turn to illegal drugs for that to be the case. It's like alcohol. Some people develop alcoholism, but the vast majority don't. Anyway, we need a sensible drug policy. We need to be honest about the effects of drugs. We need to be realistic that some people are going to try drugs in spite of the anti-drug education we give. And we need for them to not be afraid to seek help for a drug problem. It's time to start treating addiction as a health issue instead of a criminal issue. We also need to give a serious look to legalization and regulation of the current illegal drugs. For example, marijuana, pretty much harmless, despite all the propaganda behind it. There is actually research I saw in an NPR article that reveals marijuana may be miscategorized as a Schedule I drug. For example, there is no evidence it destroys the lungs any more than cigarette smoking. That's a lie, that it causes more damage than cigarette smoking, and it's very widespread in our education. So anyway, we need to reform our drug policy. We need a sensible drug policy based on reality and based on equality and based on the recent science. That's all I have to say on the matter. What do you think? This is Becky Oberg from Recovering from Mental Illness, signing off.